sometimes in the comic world, heroes are unlucky, just like us. And when I say unlucky, I mean really unlucky. Like, some heroes just can't catch a break. And that, my friends, is what we are going to be talking about today. Hi everyone, what's up? Welcome to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, David Raff, and today, if you hadn't already guessed, we are going to be talking about the top 10 unluckiest superheroes. Now, if you happen to enjoy this video, hit that like button and it will bring you a ton of luck. Trust me, I know these things. Actually, I'm just joking. Do not trust me. I have no idea what will happen. Also, subscribe to Top 10 Nerds so you never miss one nerdy moment. Alright, with all that being said, let's dive in. Number 10, Cyclops. Oh, Scott Summers. I feel bad for the guy sometimes. He is actually a really cool character, but I feel like he gets a bad rap sometimes. That is part of the reason he's unlucky. I think it happens because sometimes writers don't know how to properly utilize him. He's also been unlucky in the love department. He loves Jean, but has watched her die, and even when she was there, he was always caught in a constant love triangle with her and Logan. But there was also Madeline Pryor, who he was with after Jean was presumed dead. She looked identical to Jean, and later on it was revealed that she was actually a clone of Jean. Yeah, that relationship was a bit messed up. Number 9, Nova. Richard Rider. He is such a cool character, but unfortunately, he hasn't always had the best of luck. Not only did he watch tons of his people die during Annihilation, but he has also been trapped in a place called the Cancerverse, which is not a nice place. He learned later on that his father passed away while he was trapped in there. Also, throw the fact that his movie has been in development hell for a while. I mean, like, when are we going to see Nova on a big screen? We have waited so long. We need to see it. I mean, hopefully it will happen one day soon. Number 8, Robin. So, this just doesn't apply to one specific Robin, but a lot of them. Like, for example, Dick Grayson has a really tragic origin. He was a part of the Fly Graysons, which we know was a circus act, and then he saw his parents die during an act. It was later revealed that it wasn't even an accident like they originally thought. It was sabotage. I mean, he went on to be a hero, but still, it's a hard way to start. Next up, we have Jason Todd, which got even more messed up. I mean, he was tortured, and then he was killed by the Joker. He was resurrected later on, but then he became the Red Hood, kind of like an anti-hero. And the crazy thing is, Robin isn't the only unlucky one in the Bat family. But, no spoilers, we will talk about that other person later on this list. Number 7, Jean Grey. Well, Jean Grey has had a very interesting comic history. I mean, she was unlucky in the fact that she became the Dark Phoenix, but that's not the only reason that she's unlucky. One of the other ones is her movie history. She hasn't had the greatest track record of the movies. Not saying that the people that have played her are bad, they've both been good, just when adapting the Dark Phoenix storyline, it hasn't really worked out. Fans were disappointed when it was adapted in X-Men The Last Stand, and then she was killed off in that, and then years and years later, they tried to adapt it again in X-Men Dark Phoenix. And of course, that didn't really turn out either. For some reason, that character with that specific story is just very hard to adapt on the screen. Now, to be fair, the last one, X-Men Dark Phoenix, was supposed to be 2 parts, but apparently, because of the whole Disney-Fox merger, stuff happened, and they ended up cutting in just 1 movie, so they had to put a ton of story in just the one. So, who knows? Maybe it would have been good if they actually got to do both parts like they were planning, but we never will know. Number 6, the Hulk. Bruce Banner is unlucky for a lot of reasons. Not only was it an accident that became the Hulk, but no one ever lets him live it down. Always wants to be left alone, just, left in peace. Yet people always bring him back into everything. I mean, look at Planet Hulk. I mean, they sent him away, and then he lands on Sakaar and ends up creating a life for himself. I mean, he has a family. Then the ship that brought him there blows up, killing them, and then he's back on Earth fighting everyone. Also, people tend to blame him for just a lot of stuff, and sometimes it's not even his fault. I mean, sometimes. All he wants to do is live a quiet life. But that will never happen. Even in the movies, everyone is scared of Hulk, even though he usually always helps. I know sometimes he goes crazy, but in Avengers 1, that was because of Loki, in Avengers Age of Ultron, it was because of Scarlet Witch. Also, do I dare mention the 2003 film, Hulk? Because that was the legit definition of unlucky, and he will never live that film down. Number 5, Batgirl. So, I mentioned earlier how being a part of the Bat family sometimes means bad luck. Well, let's talk about Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. So Barbara is the daughter of Police Commissioner Jim Gordon. She joined the Bat family and was fighting crime with Batman and Robin. But unfortunately, it didn't end well. The Joker, who was responsible for everything with Jason Todd, shot Barbara in the spine, leaving her paralyzed from the waist down, which basically ended her career as Batgirl. But she did end up becoming known as the Oracle and was still a member of the team. I mean, she was amazing tech support. her skills were unmatched in a lot of ways. But it's still really sad to see what happened to her. I guess the moral of the story is just don't be a part of Batman's team. Number 4, Aquaman. Arthur Curry, the Aquaman. To be honest, I have always liked Aquaman, but he has had a rough history. Before Jason Momoa and like the New 52 stories and Rebirth, he has usually always been kind of like a laughingstock of DC. And it hurts me to say that. He was known as the guy who just talked to fish and swim underwater, and to be fair, he did have some really weird and kind of bad stories at one point. But I mean, everyone has. But for Arthur, it just made it even worse. These days, he's a lot more well regarded. People are really starting to see what makes Aquaman a really cool character. Also, who would want to make fun of Jason Momoa? He's a big guy and you just don't want to mess with him. Another thing was his failed TV pilot. Yes, Aquaman tried to break into the TV world. I still remember watching it. They filmed it, and it was kind of a semi-spin-off to Smallville, but not really. It was from the creators, but they recasted Arthur Curry from Smallville with Justin Hartley. Of course, after it failed, he went on to play Green Arrow in Smallville, but the pilot actually became really popular when it was officially released online. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it would have been interesting to see where that series would have gone if it did get picked up. Number 3, Rogue. I think a lot of people already know why Rogue is unlucky. Her powers. She can never really get close to anyone because of them. I mean, there are some people that have been able to withstand her powers, but not a lot. I mean, just look at the X-Men movies. The first time we are introduced to her character, she basically kills a guy when they're making out. Kind of kills the mood, if you know what I mean. But that hasn't stopped her and Gambit from having a long-lasting relationship, so, I mean, I guess that's kind of a silver lining, but even their relationship has been very, very rocky. Number 2, Batman. Bruce Wayne. Talk about bad luck. I mean, no kid should have to go through what he went through. Seeing your parents be killed like that would screw anyone up. And that's not where the bad luck ends for Batman. He has also had bad luck in the love department. Not to mention the sidekick department, which I've already gone through. But I mean, he has had lots of lovers over the years. But there's always one that he wanted more so than some. And that is Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. Fans have always wanted to see them together. And the two have had a very on and off again relationship. But finally, they were getting married, but it didn't really work out. She left him at the altar because she said that he couldn't be happy and be Batman at the same time. Poor guy, he just can't catch a break. Number 1, Spider-Man. Oh, Peter. I mean, he has been very lucky over the years, but you can't escape the fact that the guy has gone through a lot of weird stuff. First off, he never really knew his parents. I mean, their origins have been slightly changed and altered over the years, depending on what you're reading, but one of the main ones was that they died in a plane crash. Then add Uncle Ben on top of that, and Peter constantly beats himself up over it because technically he could have stopped that mugger originally. But that did turn him into the hero he is today. Also, he has ruined relationships because of Spider-Man. Failed school, lost jobs, and I mean, the list goes on and on. I remember that he even goes out in a snowstorm to fight crime while he was sick, and he had a really bad fever. Can you imagine that? But all of that is also the reason why we love him. He's a hero through and through, and in my opinion, greatest superhero of them all. Alright, there you have it, guys. The top 10 unluckiest superheroes. What does your list look like? Let us know down in the comments below. And if you had fun watching this video, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Top 10 Nerds so that you're always the first to know when we post another video. I'm your host, David Raff, and thank you so much for watching.